Okay, we're focused.
Okay, it's gone.
We're here to review Her Too, Ex
Yeah.
Machina. Machina.
Yeah, ex Machina. My girlfriend's a machine. Or
Yeah.
a robot.
Rage Against the Bitch.
Yeah.
This is Alex Garland's directorial debut. He was the screenwriter on 28 Days Later, Sunshine, Dread.
We're the Millers.
Yeah. he wrote the book The Beach that was made into a movie. I'm not gonna say I'm a huge fan of him, but I like him a lot.
He's a weird person to be a fan of. Like, I've liked all the movies I've seen that he's worked on quite a bit.
Yeah, no, those are all good movies.
Like, yeah, Sunshine and 28 Days Later. But I don't really love either of them.
Well, here's the thing.
They always kind of fall apart at the end for me.
Yeah, he was never great for me in third acts. I don't want to spoil those movies. And not really with Dread, but...
He's a Stephen King.
Yeah.
He has these great setups, and then he just he blows his wad.
Yeah. Luckily, having said that, this is his, this directorial debut he's made, and I think this is the first time he really nailed a third act. Like, all the pieces he put together.
I'd say it's probably his strongest work that I'm aware of.
Me too, I agree. Well,
not because it's necessarily better than the other films throughout.
Well, I don't think it's better directed. He didn't shoot this better than Danny Boyle.
No.
But you almost wish Danny Boyle would have directed this.
Even though it's very well shot and everything.
Oh, no, it's beautiful. But this is the script you've been waiting for. This is the script you're like, this could be a book and I'd love it. This could be a play. You know, this is something you deserve award nominations for.
It probably is an album.
Yeah.
I feel like there's probably a concept album.
Well, it's just really tight and smart and interesting and cerebral and small and intimate, and it's like a Michael Crichton story.
That's one thing we talked about a lot when we first saw this, is that I was always worried the film was going to get big. Before I saw the movie.
It hints at it a lot.
And thankfully it never does.
No,
it stays small the whole time, and that's exactly what it needed to do.
It's a 70s sci-fi film in that way.
Yeah.
But it stays
what was
small.
the one we talked, Man That Fell to Earth?
Yeah, Bowie,
Bowie. Yeah, that's what it felt like to me in a lot of ways.
This film stars, I don't know if I can say his name right, Domhnall Gleeson. He was one of the Weasley brothers. He was, he's recently come about in Frank and a few other movies. Yeah. He's kind of becoming a star. He wins a special prize by Oscar Isaac, who plays Nathan, who's this billionaire Steve Jobs-esque guy who owns this search engine company, to go out there and meet him and work on this experiment. It turns out that experiment is an AI called Ava, which is Alicia Vikander? Vicodin. But,
yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, he wants him to do a Turing test on her because he wants to know if she is really human, and he wants it to be objective and get an outside opinion. And he tells him, "Hey, you're my best coder," and that's just the setup. It gets a lot more complicated from there.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away about the plot because I actually didn't watch this movie, so I don't know what happens.
Here's the thing. That's the thing with the review of this. If I tell you more than the setup, or if I twist the screw a bit, I give away what's interesting or what's really compelling about this movie.
It's such a methodical, slow-paced film that it gradually, very naturalistically reveals things.
Yes.
And it kind of peels away its own facade as the film goes on, if that makes sense.
Well, it's moving pieces. Everything is a part of the whole, and things that you don't think about, little details add up together, and then by the end, really, I gotta say, it's very Hitchcockian. I didn't really think about up at front, but the way it's put together, it's a thriller in a unique way that you don't really, maybe Shadow of a Doubt or something like that, or Vertigo.
One thing, I don't know if it's too much of a spoiler to say.
Yeah.
I didn't ever expect the characters to wind up in space at any point in the movie. So I was a little surprised by where it goes in that direction.
I didn't expect them to end up in hell, and I was really surprised
by that. I kind of saw that coming. They kind of turned as like, well, Mars is kind of hell.
I mean... Satan, but it's so funny. Oscar Isaac is this billionaire, like, he gets drunk every night. Like, I'm a little buzzed right now, but this fucker, he's always like 12 beers, he's working out every day.
It's all he does.
He's got a huge beard, and he's fucking with Weasley every day. He's like, he's a genius, and he's like talking to me about code stuff. And he's like, hey, you fucking pussy, talk to me for real.
He's like a jock or a frat boy.
No, he's a frat boy nerd.
Yeah, it's like The Social Network if Mark Zuckerberg was like a douche.
Totally. And yeah, that one guy, he's really like an introvert.
Actually, I take that back. Mark Zuckerberg isn't.
Yeah,
he's worse than Oscar
fuck
Isaac.
you, Mark Zuckerberg. But yeah, this this guy Caleb, he's just kind of like a loser. He even seems like a virgin. He's
a very normal guy.
Yeah,
like he's relatable. He's not like an Aspie or anything.
No.
But
well, he's just a guy you would know, and he's normal, and there's really nothing to say about it. But that's kind of the strength of the movie, is that he's such a, I don't know, the avatar for the audience in that normal way, that the weird things that happen around him, you see the things through his perspective. So what really works about the movie is the perspectives. And using him as a narrative focus, I think, was probably Garland's masterstroke, because
he does some very clever things with it that wouldn't work. Like, if it focused on all the characters equally and their perspectives, it wouldn't work.
Having more interesting characters around the protagonist makes the story more compelling for
I'll put it this way. If this was a book, it would have to be written in the first person.
Yes.
From Caleb's perspective.
And that's a complete strength, because Ava, she's amazing to watch on screen. This performance, the way you can see through her, it's the only CGI in the movie, really, and it's very sparse, but it's used to really come alive and make you realize.
It adds a lot too. I always found like my eyes watching the little mechanisms inside of her, the rotors and the.
No, you want to touch it. It's very vivid and interesting, and it's funny. This movie consistently keeps addressing what you're thinking, and then it twists what you're thinking, and then it just totally switches gears. And it's very strange watching it, because you kind of think you have it figured out, and then you really don't. I don't think. I think you never really have it because it plays with you.
It's not like the film's like a Saw movie or something. It's these deliberate twists and big hooks.
No, I don't want to make it sound more exciting than it is. It's a very slow movie.
Yeah, I think that's what works about it, is that it just kind of like glides through the narrative in a very comfortable place. It's actually a very relaxing movie in a lot of ways.
No, it made me so happy in the summer to just watch a slow.
Yeah, I was worried it was going to be like the Terminator trailer or something.
I know. It's so indie.
I was really worried, and it wasn't that way at all.
No, there's
to give background, I didn't see the trailer for this or anything before watching, so I knew it had a robot girlfriend. That's all I knew. Mm-hmm. And it really wasn't.
No, it's a movie. I say the less you know, the better.
It should have been just released in the fall or something.
No, this could have been an Oscar movie. I think.
It is Oscar Isaac.
Yeah,
it's got an Oscar.
Just to get through some of that plot stuff, things get complicated. The movie gets a lot more interesting from there. Alice Garland does a lot of great visual work. But yeah, I'm just gonna say I think this is a gem. I love this movie. I do wish this would come out at the end of the year. I think this could have got a screenplay nomination. I think Oscar Isaac could have got Best Supporting Actor. I think he's brilliant. I think this is the best he's ever been.
I think it's got some of the best AI, and I hate using this comparison because it's but it is the Blade Runner thing.
No, it is.
I mean, it totally feels that way.
And Oscar Isaac creates such a three-dimensional character that's so flawed, and he steals the movie. This is like a star-making performance. You're like, wow, you're going to be in Star Wars. I'm so excited to see you. The girl who plays Ava is amazing. It's just really perfect casting. It works like a play.
Like a film that only has 3 characters, basically.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I mean, like Mad Max we just saw and talked about. Had so many characters.
Yeah, there's a lot.
This was the opposite. Where's 3, and you get to know each and every one of them throughout.
I'm just thinking of Mad Max. I had a brother, and he was perfect in every way.
No, is it the doing?
No, it's so funny. It's so funny. Sorry, you just brought me. But no, it's a lot of my sci-fi films I see. My biggest problem is that they almost get too ambitious, or they always go for.
It's post Star Wars disorder, where there are all these adventure action films. This is cool.
This is more Philip K. Dick, or
no, it is.
This is more like literature.
The Day the Earth Stood Still, kind of sci-fi.
Yeah, and it's
Twilight Zone. I guess I should say.
It haunts me. I think about it. I think that where this movie goes is really interesting. I think it's a very emotional film. I think it's a very human film about a very artificial. I think it's artificially made, but felt humanly. It's a very beautiful.
Does the film seem like it's
between the two?
There's an underlying subtext about the morality of women?
I do. I agree. I totally agree.
I was like,
I totally agree. No, this and Mad Max have different messages because
totally
Mad Max is this feminist thing, and yet this I do wonder, like, what is it saying about?
I don't think it's totally deliberate or anything,
no.
but if you choose to read into it that way, it is kind of funny.
It's the. But no, this is I guess we'll just go to last call because unfortunately to go in depth in this would be to spoil it, and I hate to not give a more in depth review. But my last call, I was really hyped for this. I was hearing good things. I love sci-fi. Seeing this, all the performances are great. The writing's great. I liked it for most of the way through, but I was more just relaxed, and I was like, is this going to pick up? And then it's really the last half hour it all comes together, and then I was like, oh shit, this is...
It's a movie I almost wish that I would have watched midnight or later on HBO.
I know.
It feels like one of those movies.
It's a cult film in the making, but I give this an A- because really, besides minor budgetary issues or really maybe certain things I don't like that are nitpicks, I think it works mostly the way through. It never betrays itself. It's pretty consistent. The pacing's deliberate but focused, and it's once you're like, wow, that's a really good story. That was a really cool movie, and it's like, well, shit. It's just nice to see that. It's nice to see a really well done movie.
It is very refreshing.
No, it was. I mean, I might be giving a little bit too much praise, but we don't get movies like this much.
Yeah, for my last call, it's tough because I always go between two ratings that are like just barely one's a little more positive than the other.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
For this one, I'm in between an A- and just an A. And really, I'm trying to think of issues I have with the movie.
Yeah, I don't have many.
It's not a perfect movie. It's not like I'm in awe of it.
No, it's not a masterpiece.
It's not an A+ for me or anything.
No.
But I do think a solid A is earned. I think about other A- I've given, like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes or Rise or something like that. And they have much bigger issues in this.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, well, in the scheme of things, I enjoyed this film consistently. I appreciate it. I think it's a very smart movie.
I do too.
The performances are great. The direction's great. Like you said, the deliberate pacing, something you really don't get much of today.
No.
So yeah, I'm gonna go solid A. I'll be a little generous.
I mean, this could very well end up at my top 10 list at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think it'd have to be a good year for it not to.
Yeah,
for me.
I mean, if there's 10 movies better than this, then I'm really excited for the end of the year. Especially if there's a better sci-fi film.
Exactly. I think Vacation's got a lot to live up to.
Yeah. Well, you know what I thought about when I saw this? This is so much what I wish Spielberg's AI would have been.
I agree. I thought about AI too.
I'm glad you thought about that, but obviously AI on the scale. But what this movie accomplished with AI, I do think that. Yeah, this is what I was hoping for more of just really better narrative and structure and intimacy within this.
Yeah,
it's.
I feel the same way about Transformers 4. I wish it was more like this, or.
Yeah.
I mean, I just really want to watch anything but Transformers 4. I don't care what movie it's
no,
like, just not that one.
Just fucking beat the shit out of me and, like, don't let me ever watch Transformers 4.
Yeah, well, we got the new review for the next one coming, probably next year, 2 years from
No, there's going to be one every
scary.
fucking year.
A multiverse or something.